Dear colleagues, let us express our gratitude to the conference organizers for the opportunity to participate in such a highly scientific event and present the result of our studies. We also want to express our gratitude for our armed forces, which by extreme efforts provide us with a relatively peaceful stay and bring us closer to victory. On behalf of our outsourced team, I would like to present brief results of our studies on a topic using the method of canonical correlation to assess the relationship between economic growth and environmental threats. With the rapid development of globalization processes, the internationalization of economies, humanity faced an increasing number of challenges associated with extensive use of natural resource potential. This leads to its uncontrolled depletion, significant social stratification in society due to uneven access to resources, a decrease by biodiversity and productivity of geoecosystems, and deterioration of environment. The solution of this task is the transition to balanced, sustainable development, which combines the even development of economic, ecological, and social aspects of society's development and determines the global priorities of social growth. In this regard, there is an objective need to study the relationship between indicators of economic development and factors caused threats of environmental safety to identify costs and consequences and to determine the nature of intersection between these indicators. The application of scientific approaches and modern analytical tools of economic and mathematical modeling to data analysis which contribute to the development of necessary strategic decisions and reducing ecological and economic tension, preventing the catastrophic consequences of the global ecological crisis. The purpose of the study is to identify the degree of correlation between a set of indicators of economic development and a set of indicators reflecting environmental threats. To achieve the goal, the following tasks were set and solved, presented on this slide. Problems of the interaction of economy and ecology in context of achieving sustainable development goals have been reflected in research of wide range of scientists. Among the dominant direction of research in this field are assessment of the relationship between the development of agriculture, GDP growth, and waste generation, assessment of the relationship between development of socio-economic system and of the ecological system, at both at the national and regional levels, development of an environmental policy mechanism, determine economic development strategies for business structure in context of ensuring environmental safety. Scholars use them really to a wide range of research methods to solve these problems presented on this slide. There are thorough results that illustrate the presence of close relationship between indicators of economic development and environmental threats. At the same time, it should be noted that environmental threats are usually assessed based on a single indicator, particularly the volume of carbon dioxide emissions. Therefore, we use the method of canonical correlation, which allows us to estimate the correlation between a set of indicators of economic development and the set of indicators reflecting environmental threats. Consider the model of canonical correlation analysis in the common form. Let the resulting indicators y1, y2, and yk be influenced by factors x1, x2, xn. Let's write the linear combination of initial indicators in the form of canonical variables u and v, like formula 1, or in the matrix form, like formula 2. To calculate the canonical correlation coefficients, we use the extended correlation matrix of indicators like formula 3. Assuming that the canonical variables are standardized and expression for calculating the canonical correlation coefficient has the form of formula 4. Finding the maximum of this function is a problem of finding the conditional extremum and can be solved using the method of Lagrange multipliers. As a result, we get the equation like formula 5. It follows from this equation that the problem of finding the coefficients of vector B is reduced to the task of finding the eigenvectors of matrix S, like formula 6. The coefficients of matrix A can be found using formula 7. Since the goal of the method is to find combination with the largest value of canonical correlation coefficient among all eigenvalues, the largest one should be selected for calculation like formula 8. Let's consider the application of the method in the context of research task. The author's consideration regarding to macroeconomic indicators of economic growth and indicators of environmental threats, and the result of the analysis of other researchers allow us to select such indicators that reflect on this slide. The study was conducted for the world countries according to the World Bank data. Considering the limited availability of necessary data due to the lack of indicated value for individual countries, the indicators values for 136 countries of the world were used in our study. We also considered that starting from the 2021, statistical data as available for many indicators selected for the study. Therefore, we limit our study to data for 2020. Calculation results are present on the slide 6. The analysis of the obtained dependencies showed that the indicator x2 and x5 most influences the canonical variable u. For variable v, such indicator is y1. Let's pay attention to the fact that the indicator y3 in this case does not affect the corresponding canonical variable v because of appropriate eigenvector value is equal to 0. Calculating Pearson pairwise correlation coefficients between the initial indicators and canonical variables confirmed the importance of the selected indicators. The obtained results were significantly affected by the sample heterogeneity for the calculation were performed. So, for the x2 indicator, the largest value exceeds the smallest by 50,000 times. For the x5 indicator, by 40,000 times. And for example, for the y1 indicator, by 36,000 times. The same heterogeneity occurs for the normal value. At the same time, the calculation allows us to conclude that there is a relationship between the development of the world economic system and global environmental threats. These negatively affects progress in achieving the goals of sustainable development. The conclusion is consistent with the results obtained by other scientists, including for the other set of indicators. The research results can be used as analytical information for the policy review regarding to the long-term sustainable economic development. Thank you for attention.